Donate kids' winter coats at Clinky Cleaners during Coats for Kids.
First Warn Weather, keeping you ahead of the storms. This is News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4. Right now, thousands are gathering at the Alliant Energy Center for presidential candidate Kamala Harris's rally.
The vice president will be speaking later tonight at the Coliseum. Now let's get out to our crews for live team coverage. We have crews at the Alliant Energy Center and the Dane County Regional Airport. We're joined by Eric Franke, Jalen Banks, and Braden Ross. Eric's here to get us started. Eric, good afternoon.
Ellie and Brady, greetings from a very loud Alliant Energy Center as a crowd that's been pouring in here since 2 o'clock has been waiting for the Vice President Kamala Harris to arrive here. The Vice President is expected to speak at about 6:30 tonight. Doors, as we mentioned, open at 2 o'clock, and the crowd has been steadily pouring in the past couple of hours. It has been a very busy 24 hours for Kamala Harris. Last night, an event in suburban Detroit, a podcast with Oprah Winfrey, and this isn't even her first campaign stop of the day today. The VP was down in Georgia earlier. In fact, she left for Madison about an hour ago. While in the Atlanta area, she gave a speech that was focused on abortion rights. We'll hear exactly what she had to say tonight on News 3 Now at 5. And we also have Jalen Banks and Braden Ross here this evening as well. They've been talking to attendees and also talking about what the lineup will be here of speakers. But we also want to mention that the GOP has responded to the Vice President's pending visit here in Madison. At a press conference earlier today, Brian Schimming, the head of the state GOP, said it was expected that Vice President Kamala Harris would at some point make a stop in Madison.
Kamala Harris doesn't get back to the White House unless she wins Wisconsin, and she needs a big turnout. She has to go to her base of voters, not where independent voters live, because frankly, she doesn't want to answer questions from independent voters. She'd rather come somewhere where it's completely safe for her politically.
So Brian Schimming there, and really another thing to think about with the Harris visit to Madison today is the numbers they've seen. They always pretty much figure they're going to have the majority of the votes in heavily Democratic Dane County, but they've seen a steady increase in numbers from 20 to 22, and also even in last year's Supreme Court race, the Democratic numbers surging even higher. They want to get a big lead in Milwaukee and Dane counties on election night, and that's what they're here to shore up that support. So we will be out here for the rest of the evening, bringing you the very latest on the Vice President's visit. Jalen Banks and Braden Ross also out here talking with the folks in attendance. We'll hear from them within the next half hour. So stay with News 3 Now, channel3000.com, and on our Channel 3000 Plus streaming app for the very latest. You can also get all of the latest information at channel3000.com. For now, from the Alliant Energy Center, let's go back to Brady and Ellie in studio.
Thank you, Eric. And it is a hot day for the Vice President's visit. Let's get a look at our First Warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us from the patio. Alex?
Hey, Brady. Hey, Southern Wisconsin. Yeah, a warm day today, but a little bit on the breezy side now out here. That helps out a little bit with those temperatures in the 80s. The next part of our weather story, as we've been talking for days, temperatures, water, temperatures, water. You might be wondering, if you didn't get rainfall last night, when's the next chance of rain? Saturday night, a good chance of rain on Sunday, but we've brought those rain chances down a bit as we go Monday into Tuesday. So there is more rain on the way for southern Wisconsin. Right now, though, you mentioned it's hot. For this time of year, 70 is the normal high temperature. We're at 84 degrees. Sunny skies, a very warm day in Madison across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures tonight will only be in the 70s by the time we get to 8 o'clock. Clear skies on the patio, clear this evening. Overnight low temperatures right around 60 degrees. And we have a very warm day on store for Saturday. Highs up near 90, and that heat could spell thunderstorms as early as Saturday evening. And some of those storms could be on the strong side. Coming up in Maine weather, we're going to track that line of thunderstorms and a southward shift in the rain for Sunday going on into Monday. That's coming up.
All right, thank you, Alex. And later, live coverage previewing Vice President Kamala Harris' visit to Madison continues.
Plus, how a local organization is lending a helping hand to Haitian immigrants in Ohio during a very tense political time.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Fall is just around the corner. Let the experts at Feldco get your home ready for the cooler temps ahead. Right now, buy one window, get one free, plus no interest for 3 years. It's the perfect time to make valuable upgrades to your home and save more money in the process. Our custom windows are built in the U.S. to the highest standards and made to withstand the harsh Midwest weather. Buy one window, get one free, and soon. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco. We're cranking up the voltage, Wisconsin. Lottery retailers all around the state are lighting up with the latest limited time offer. It's Badger 5. 5 will get you 6. During the month of September, players who buy a $5 or greater Badger 5 ticket will receive a bonus ticket for the next drawing of Badger 5. This electric offer is only available for a limited time and only at Wisconsin lottery retailers.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy. Yet this year, one local law firm finalized the largest compensatory verdict in state history against an automaker, over $38 million. And it was no fluke. That same firm has been holding big car companies accountable for faulty designs that cause injury for over 50 years. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
3 years ago, I had an abortion of a desperately wanted and loved baby. Joan Ballwig wants to ban all abortion, with no exceptions. Not for rape or incest, not to save the mother's life. I know what it's like when women have to make these heartbreaking decisions. The very last person who should have anything to do with it is a politician like Joan Ballwig.
Dane County Boys and Girls Club is helping raise money for immigrants in Springfield, Ohio.
This is happening after the group was mentioned during the presidential debate earlier this month. Tanisha Shaw shows us.
Around 15,000 immigrants live in Springfield. A large number of them are Haitian. The local Boys and Girls Club here in Dane County is helping them get back on their feet. The organization decided to help them after former President Trump said this during the debate.
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
So far, we've helped about a dozen families, and it's ranging from anything to furniture for their homes, home makeovers, and just getting them some of what they need.
The president of Dane County's Boys and Girls Club decided to make a detour during his sabbatical and helped Haitians in Springfield.
One thing that we do at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County is we really focus on serving whoever needs us the most. And so this is part of our mission.
The organization also told me that anyone back home here in Madison can help those in Springfield too.
We'll keep supporting families as long as the funding comes in. So even when Michael's back here in Madison, we'll continue to send that support along. And so that's why we've really worked hard to connect with the local leaders so that we can provide those funds directly to them.
This isn't the first time that the Boys and Girls Club in Dane County has helped people outside of Wisconsin. Tonight at 5, I'm going to break down the other place that the organization has traveled. Reporting in studio, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Tanisha, and we will have a link to donate to the Boys and Girls Club on channel3000.com. Leadership at the U.S. Postal Service is responding to concerns about mail-in ballots. For weeks, Democrats and Republicans have raised concerns about the post office's past performance and its ability to deliver this election cycle. A little over a week ago, state and local election officials wrote a letter to USPS saying during the primary, clerks received mailed ballots postmarked on time days after the deadline to be counted. In a statement, USPS says it will implement extraordinary measures to make sure mail-in ballots are delivered on time.
The acting director of the Secret Service is admitting to a breach of protocol before a man shot at Donald Trump at a rally in July. The head of the agency says those responsible will face penalties, but didn't specify what that would look like. It comes less than 1 week after another apparent assassination attempt on Trump's life. Meanwhile, the House unanimously passed a bill to increase the service's protection for major vice presidential and presidential candidates. That bill now heads to the Senate.
The FTC is taking legal action against the 3 largest pharmacy benefit managers. The agency says the companies artificially inflated insulin prices, making patients pay more for their medicine. Those companies are CVS, Health's Caremark RX, Cigna's Express Scripts, and United Health Group's Optum RX. All those companies allegedly built systems that prioritize high rebates for manufacturers. The groups have not yet commented on the allegations.
Federal regulators say major social media companies are failing to protect kids and teens. In a new report, the FTC says 9 social media, video, and streaming platforms took part in vast surveillance of users. That includes Meta, TikTok, and YouTube. The agency says the company makes money off harvesting people's personal data and that these practices put people's privacy in harm's way. The FTC recommended companies limit data collection and that Congress pass federal privacy legislation.
In just 2 days, Madison will launch its first ever bus rapid transit route. The bus rapid transit system has been years in the making. The city says it will operate about every 15 minutes for most of the day and have service on weekends. There will be less frequent stops, more lanes dedicated to buses, and room for passengers. Route A is the first route opening up, and that will take people from Madison's west side to Sun Prairie with 31 stops.
And now let's get a look at your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is here. Alex.
Yep, temperatures, water, temperatures, water. It's repeat. That's been our weather story for days now. Starting off with the temperatures, then we'll get to the water part. Temperatures starting off Saturday morning, upper 50s to right around 60 degrees across all of southern Wisconsin. The normal high, or the normal low rather, for this time of year, upper 40s to right around 50. Nowhere near that to start off Saturday morning. That's a warm base for a warm afternoon. Highs in the middle to upper 80s. Janesville, you might close in at 90 degrees. From Madison and points to the north and west, our friends up towards Juneau, Adams counties, Prairie du Chien, you could be looking at some thunderstorms approaching the area as we head towards the late afternoon and the evening hours. Let's track that now here hour by hour. Here's a depiction of those thunderstorms by 5:30 north and west of Madison, getting towards the Madison area, Dells, Juneau, Watertown, over towards Prairie du Chien and Boscobel by the time we get to 8 o'clock. Some indications that this line could be weakening as it moves into southern Wisconsin, but with a beautiful sunny day on Saturday, don't let your guard down. Look off towards the north and west. Well, to the First Warn Weather app and channel3000.com for the latest on this potential line of storms that should eventually get out of the area as we go towards 10, 11 o'clock midnight. It pushes down into Illinois if it holds together through that entirety. A couple of those storms, again, could be on the stronger side. We're looking at wind and hail as the main threats with that line of thunderstorms, some heavy downpours and vivid lightning as well. That's rain chance number 1. The best rain chances during the day on Sunday. Tapered the rain chances a bit Sunday night going on into Monday. There's a shift in that Sunday-Monday storm track. In my next weather, a little bit later in the newscast, I'm going to show you where that access that area of heavier rain is most likely to set up. We had some really good totals, primarily over southwestern Wisconsin, areas north and west of Madison. The line got about to Madison where we got just a little bit under 7/10, and then as it moved off towards the east, lesser amounts. As we mentioned, that line pressing off towards the east, a weakening trend, and that did occur, but it was a loud late evening for some parts of southern Wisconsin. Some of that thunder last night in the Madison area, some of the loudest that I have heard in some time. We do have more storm chances again. Saturday night going on into Sunday, going on into Monday. The best chances for that heavy rain is going to be Madison and points to the south. And as I mentioned, I'll show you those totals in my next main weather a little bit later in the newscast. Sparse chances for showers as we carry out beyond the Sunday, Monday rain chances, with temperatures climbing back up to near 80 degrees by the end of the 10 days. So turning warm and then dry again.
All right, thank you, Alex. Well, Polaris is recalling 20,000 of its off-road vehicles and ATVs because of a potential fire hazard. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says that the 2024 Ranger XD 1500 has wrench wiring that can overheat and start a fire. Certain 2023 and 24 models of the Sportsman ATV can leak fuel that can also spark a fire. There are reports of at least 4 fires, but no injuries. Owners with recalled vehicles should contact a Polaris dealership for a free repair.
While non-alcoholic beer and mocktails are good alternatives for adults who don't want to drink, experts are weighing in about how the drinks are marketed. Non-alcoholic drinks are often packaged to look just like their boozy counterparts. Some experts worry that could be a gateway to drinking, priming minors to switch to the real thing. Even though the drinks can only contain 0.5% of alcohol by volume, they're calling for laws that curb sales to kids and teens.
Researchers with the medical journal JAMA Network Open say parents should pay attention to your child's sleep patterns. The study found children with sleep issues have a higher risk for suicide when they're older. Study authors looked at data from nearly 9,000 children. While most children didn't report suicidal thoughts or attempts, severe sleep disturbances were linked to those who did. Nearly 1 in 3 kids with severe sleep disturbance between 9 and 10 years old reported some level of suicidal behavior 2 years later. Now, the American Academy of Pediatrics says kids 3 to 5 years need 10 to 13 hours of sleep total. Kids 6 to 12 need 9 to 12 hours of sleep. If you're concerned about your child sleeping, talk to their doctor. For other resources on how to help your child with sleep issues, you can go to healthychildren.org.
There's mounting evidence eating ultra-processed foods can increase your risk for type 2 diabetes. A study from the Lancet Regional Health Europe says foods like sugary drinks, chips, and hot dogs have synthetic additives that negatively impact your health. Data shows the risk for type 2 diabetes increases with the amount of ultra-processed foods a person eats.
Now to a major recall for Denerick's baby powder over concerns of abscess. The FDA says the corporation is recalling after the powder had 62 cases in the bottled powder. Had the potential to be contaminated. The product went to distributors on or after March 11th of this year. The powder went out to 12 states, including Wisconsin, and was sold on Amazon. So far, there aren't any reports of illnesses. The bottles to look out for have an item number of 4875. If you see that on your bottle, you should throw it out or return it.
Well, how would you like it if your family owned a hotel in Italy?
It turns out it's a big trend there. Wendy Gillette shows us how family-owned Italian businesses can make the trip feel more authentic.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Come celebrate the season with Baraboo Furniture and Mattresses store-wide fall kickoff sale. Every department is on sale. Living room, bedroom, dining room, mattresses, Amish, and much more. All with the lowest prices. Over $1 million of name brand furniture to choose from in our beautiful showroom, including over 60 recliners. Free financing, all credit welcome. Hurry in today to the huge store-wide fall kickoff sale at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress, where your satisfaction is our guarantee.
Champion's Big Window Sale is back.
Do you have ugly, hard-to-open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy 2, you get 2 free. Buy 2 Champion windows, get 2 free? I guess that means if you buy 4, you get 4 free. Buy 6, get 6 free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy 2, Get 2 free sale is for a limited time.
Great job, everybody. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic, don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam.
Ugh, and I'm already late.
Take an EKG from anywhere, but with 6 times the data. Can your smartwatch do that? Introducing Cardia Mobile 6L, the FDA-cleared EKG that provides 6 times more heart data than any smartwatch. And it detects 3 of the most common arrhythmias in just 30 seconds, including atrial fibrillation, bradycardia, and tachycardia. Cardia Mobile 6L, the world's most advanced personal EKG. Get yours today at cardia.com or Amazon.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Meet Edwin Ramos. This illegal immigrant murdered 3 Americans. An MS-13 gang member, Ramos was arrested for a gun crime, but as DA, Kamala didn't prosecute him. Months later, Ramos murdered a man and his 2 sons in cold blood.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Americans flooded into Italy this summer. It's always a very popular vacation destination. The country is filled with family-owned hotels where a stay can feel more authentic than booking with one of those big hotel chains.
We talked earlier with CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette about this latest trend.
Brady and Ellie, Americans love traveling to Italy. U.S. tourists led arrivals to Rome and Florence last year, beating out neighboring European countries. And Americans spent the second highest amount on tourist visits, only behind Germany. Many tourists from the U.S. seek out family-owned properties while staying in the country.
A small spa is one of the luxury touches at Palazzo Talia in the heart of Rome, a couple blocks from the Trevi Fountain. Inside, a 16th century building lovingly restored by the Federici family.
This has been a passion project for my father, so he's been thinking about redoing this palazzo for a long time.
And if the common spaces look straight out of the movies, it's more than a coincidence. Italian director Luca Guadagnino, behind the lens of this year's challengers, launched the interior architecture studio that did the design. Palazzo Talia is the family's 4th hotel, filled with frescoes and almost 40 Roman busts.
You can really tell when a property is owned by a family because there's a special care in every little aspect of the hospitality.
It's a way of life in Italy, where families own around 95% of all hotels, including Viesca Toscano near Florence, one of those we stayed at for a special rate. When you step into the former country home of the Ferragamos, you can see how this famous family got its start in the shoe business.
All the buildings that we see around us were actually part of a farm, and it was all working land.
The family's interest in local products led to food and wine lines. Tastings and cooking classes with a chef are among the hotel's offered activities.
Here you can really enjoy the authenticity of the countryside around Florence.
An afternoon of travel brings tourists here to the island of Sardinia off the western coast of Italy. This is Valle dell'Erica, one of 12 properties run by 2 families who own Delfina Hotels and Resorts.
It's very much a family affair at one of 7 restaurants where the clan's aunt rolls out pasta using grandma's recipe.
The guests, they're not just visitors. They feel like part of an extended family.
They spread out in secluded nooks along the coast, dine on seafood feasts, relax in thalassotherapy pools, or island hop by boat, surveying the crystal clear water of the Mediterranean.
Italy set tourism records last year with hotels hosting more than 134 million tourists. The government says there are indications the numbers will be even higher this year. Brady and Ellie?
So why are so many properties owned by families in Italy?
Well, that comes down to generations of ownership and the economy. Last year, tourism contributed around 10% to Italy's GDP, so it's a strong industry. But a shift is starting as more families grow tired of running the business or younger generations don't want to and weigh enticing offers from international companies. Brady and Ellie?
Now I'm just thinking, if I could, I would own a property in Italy. Doesn't that sound nice?
Sounds fantastic. I think it's easier to say than to actually carry it out.
Okay, you have a point there, Wendy. All right, thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, Alex is not in Italy. He's over at our weather wall with our forecast.
Yep, surprise, another weather. We're going to do the full rainfall forecast. I said, well, let's wait to the next main weather where you're going to get the whole rain picture in this weather here. We got a hot day in store, just like Italy. It's warm in Italy right now. Maybe not quite this warm. 90 in Janesville, 86 in Lone Rock, 85 in Baraboo. You'd think this is July or August. Nope, this is late September. Fall is on Sunday, and this heat will be an ingredient that we need for thunderstorm activity as early as the later afternoon, early evening hours north and west of Madison. By the time Saturday we get to 5, 6 o'clock, we'll be looking at thunderstorms entering Vernon, Crawford, Juneau, Adams counties. They rapidly move to the south and towards the east, affecting all of southern Wisconsin. Some indication this line may weaken some, but right now the models are holding it together, sweeping to the south and east of Madison as we head towards 10 o'clock. Maybe a little bit of back building behind that, which could promote some heavy rain. We'll keep an eye on that threat. And as we get into the wee hours of Sunday morning, that round of showers and storms, that's out of here. 1 or 2 storms could be strong. Gusty winds and hail, not out of the question. Vivid lightning and some heavy rainfall. We'll take the raindrops. More raindrops expected on Sunday going on into Monday. But this weather system that rides along the cold front that's coming through Saturday night will bring steadier rains. We're not looking at heavy thunderstorms or anything on Sunday going on into Monday right now. That pans out like so. Look at these showers moving across the area, lining up, let's say the Wisconsin River Valley, and points to the south, the heavier rains. North up towards Juneau and Adams, Marquette and Green Lake counties, the heavy rains may not quite get that far north. This is the total amount of water that we're expecting Sunday going into Monday, maybe wee hours of Tuesday. Notice the heavier amounts. Let's say 151 Wisconsin River Valley points to the south, maybe an inch towards the Illinois border, quarter to half inch to the north of the Dells. So heavier rains shifting down towards the south. We got a little bit under 7/10 last night. It was loud in Madison, some of the loudest thunder that I can honestly recall hearing in some time. And we need those raindrops because it is the 19th driest September that we have experienced in our records, and we need that water, and we got more water for most of southern Wisconsin Saturday night. North and west of Madison, you may have that strong storm chance. Sunday going on into Monday, hopefully that weather system will shift a little bit further to the north to give us all that heavy rainfall, because beyond that, that's it. Just slight shower chances, temperatures warming back up, and the extended taking us all the way out into October. Dry, so we need those raindrops. Brady?
How did Loki do with that thunder last night?
He sleeps through anything.
Oh, he's lucky.
He is a perfect dog. Doesn't bark, doesn't bite, and when there's storms, he's just like, whatever.
He knows what's going on. He trusts you. So.
Yes, I give him the forecast. That's why.
Thanks, Alex.
Yes.
Well, next on Live at 4, we take you back to the Alliant Energy Center.
Our team is there as we await the Vice President's arrival.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Many window installers lack proper training. At Nextdoor & Window, we're reinventing window installation. Our installers are certified and trained to ensure your windows are sealed tight and energy efficient. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
Tammy Baldwin's partner is Maria Brisbane, a Wall Street wealth advisor to the ultra-rich. They spend their time in New York and D.C. in their multi-million-dollar homes. But Baldwin fails to report their jointly owned assets or Maria's clients, who get rich off industries that Tammy regulates. That's a conflict of interest raising serious ethical questions. Two-faced Tammy Baldwin. She's not for us anymore. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no-interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year, so visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
Democrats say everything's great, but when you're on a fixed income struggling to pay for gas, groceries, or medicine, it doesn't feel great.
Biden-Harris created this mess.
And Tammy Baldwin's been right there with them.
25 years in Washington. What's she done?
raised taxes,
Added trillions in new debt.
and gave stimulus checks to illegals.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
I'd like a stimulus check.
I'd like you to take out the trash.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
I'm on my way.
Well, there we have a look at some of our plants back on the patio. You know, I heard Alex say 19th driest September on record, and I believe it. It's been dry, it's been hot. It does not feel like we're approaching fall at all.
No, but the good thing is our weather words say rain chances continue. So, Alex, it looks like we might be getting out of that a little bit. Sounds like we might be doing all right.
I'm on my way out to the patio. Hold on, everybody.
He was busy, everyone.
I was busy.
And sometimes that happens. You're doing something at the computer, and then you have to book it out to the patio. Alex, I think, do you have your running shoes on?
I have my running shoes on, and I can
it.
run again, but I don't want to be out here with this suit jacket on. It's too hot for that. Sorry, I got in the middle of producing a graphic to explain the weather. We got more rain chances on the way. As early as Saturday night, Sunday is the best chance for rain, but there's some changes with the rainfall forecast. Sunday going on into Monday, going on into Tuesday. I'll explain more about that when I come back in Maine weather. Some areas, unfortunately, in southern Wisconsin may not get quite as much rain as we had been originally forecasting for. The storm Saturday night could be on the strong side, especially for areas north and west of Madison. Gusty winds, we could be looking at some hail as well. We'll track that line of storms together in a few minutes. Now, it's warm. You do not need a suit jacket outside. It's a little bit too uncomfortable for that, but for the few moments that I'm out here on the patio, we'll make do. 84 in Madison, dew point 55. I keep bringing that up because 55 is on the comfortable side, so it's a comfortable 84 degrees. It's not super muggy. Planning the evening tonight after our 6 o'clock newscast, I will take my running shoes and I will do a little walk right around the station here as temperatures fall through the 70s. Overnight low temperatures tonight will be in the upper 50s, right around 60. Just how warm we're expecting Saturday to be, and that total amount of water that we can expect from Sunday going on into Tuesday. I'll show that to you in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Alex. Right now, we're awaiting Vice President Kamala Harris's arrival at the Alliant Energy Center, and Eric Franke is joining us live right now.
Good evening, Eric.
Brady and Ellie, all due respect to Pitbull, I'd rather be able to hear you right now. But they are playing Fireball, and this place is kind of getting ready to explode because they've got about 10,000 people here already, 2 hours to go until the Vice President is set to speak at 6:30. I looked it up. The capacity here is 10,231. They're expecting about 12,000, and that is as advertised. As I mentioned, it's pretty much full, and we're 2 hours before, so the music is playing, and they're getting this crowd amped up. The Vice President is scheduled to speak at 6:30. The doors opened at 2 o'clock, and it isn't the Vice President's first campaign visit of the day on the heels of that podcast she hosted with Oprah Winfrey last night in suburban Detroit. She went down to Georgia earlier today, and while there, she gave a speech focusing on abortion rights. And you can stick around for what she had to say down in the Atlanta area. In a half hour, we'll have her words to the crowd there tonight on News 3 Now at 5. But for now, we're going to go outside to Jalen Banks. He has more information now on who we're expecting to hear from in addition to the Vice President tonight. Jalen?
Eric, with us being here in Madison, as you'd imagine, we're going to see, a plethora of your Wisconsin staples. Some of those include Wisconsin Democratic Party Chairman Ben Winkler, who's continued to be a staple for the Democratic Party as a surrogate throughout the campaign. Our Governor, Tony Evers, is set to speak tonight. But most notably of the Wisconsin speakers is Senator Tammy Baldwin, who's in a race of her own. Recent polling shows that she does have a slight edge over her challenger, Republican Eric Hovde. 51% going towards Senator Tammy Baldwin, 48% going towards Eric Hovde. And as you can see behind me, and when Eric was live just now, thousands of people showing up here tonight for the Harris rally here at the Alliant Energy Center. But joining me right now is our very own Braden Ross, who has been able to catch up with some of the spectators and the voters here in anticipation for the speakers and obviously Vice President Harris. Braden, what are you hearing from those here in attendance right now?
Well, definitely. I mean, you were saying tens of thousands of people, well, maybe not tens, but close to probably pushing 10,000 people Eric and I were talking about earlier, and that includes college students. That's a big part of this voting block that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz need to win. Both Donald Trump would need it as well. And so, you know, that's the question here is how do they reach those voters? Madison is home to tens of thousands of those college students, and many of them choose to vote here in this swing state rather than in their home states. So they need to win those votes, and how do they do it? Well, I asked some of those college voters just that. Take a listen.
Got my vote, but I want to hear her continue to make her message heard to all the other young voters because we all have legitimate concerns. I want to hear her plans about climate change. I want to hear her plans about gun violence. Those are two issues that I think are central to our generation. We've grown up in a generation where we're unsafe to go to school, where our planet is warming, and so I'm confident that she believes that those are also issues, but I'd love to hear more about that tonight.
And you heard there gun violence, climate change, two of the big issues that young voters want to hear about. I also talked to some others, and they brought up reproductive rights as one of the issues that really matters to them. So, of course, we'll keep an eye out and see what Vice President Harris talks about on the stage. And if she hits those marks that these voters are looking to hear from, we'll talk to them after, and we'll have what they thought of what she said here on the stage tonight at 10 here on News 3 Now. But for now, I'll send it back to you, Eric.
All right. Braden and Jalen, thank you very much. And we also want to bring in Maddie Heim. She is live standing by Dane County Regional Airport where Kamala Harris is expected to land any moment now if she hasn't already. And Maddie has some context on the long history of political rallies here in the city of Madison. Maddie?
That's right, Eric. Like you said, I'm here at the airport where Harris is expected to land. We just saw a plane come down. We were keeping an eye out. It definitely wasn't her, but we've seen a couple vehicles, some SUVs drive by, so they're definitely getting ready for her to come down. But while we wait for the VP, we decided to take a look back at some of the campaign stops, presidential visits that have happened right here in Madison. Some candidates who have stopped here and their relationship with that Madison crowd. So back in 2004, John Kerry held a rally at the Alliant Center, then later one on West Washington. 80,000 people were there in October of 2004. Then Barack Obama, both as a candidate and a president, he hosted rallies in front of the City County building and on Bascom Hill. We had Bernie Sanders. He held one during his presidential campaign in 2016, again inside the Alliant Coliseum that is filling up right now for Harris. So a long history of Democratic candidates touching down here in Madison. UW professor Allison Prash explains why. Take a listen.
I think for many candidates, they see Madison as this focal point for Democratic politics, but it's also an opportunity for them to speak more broadly to Wisconsinites, because as we know, although Madison may lean Democratic, the rest of the state is very much up for grabs.
Can win. Thank you all very much.
Prash says when Republicans come to Madison, they're challenged to really dive into the issues of the campaign, trying to sway voters. But when Democrats visit, the goal is typically to just excite those voters, galvanize their supporters to get even more votes. And she says that's exactly what Harris will be doing today. So we're going to continue to keep an eye out. Again, she should be expected to land right behind me here at the Dane County Regional Airport, and we'll be right with you when it happens. For now, reporting at the airport, I'm Maddie Heim, News 3 Now.
All right, Maddie, thank you again. The Vice President expected to take the stage here behind me at the Alliant Energy Center at 6:30. We'll have complete coverage of her speech tonight on News 3 Now at 10. We'll have another preview in a half hour on News 3 Now at 5. And, of course, if you want to listen to the Vice President's speech here at this packed rally at Alliant Energy Center, we will carry it in full on our Channel 3000 Plus app, channel3000.com, and on our Facebook and YouTube channels as well. But they are getting ready to have a party here at the Alliant Energy Center. There's a light show that the crowd here is also anticipating here. But again, the Vice President expected to take the stage at about 6:30. Ellie, Brady, back to you.
All right, thank you, Eric. I'm amazed anyone can hear anything there. That music is really pumping there.
It's super loud.
All right, to Wall Street now. The Dow Jones had a modest game, ending a big rally for the week after the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates. The Dow gained 38 to close at a new record high. The Nasdaq lost 65 and the S&P fell 11.
Now Now to continuing coverage of the former UW lacrosse chancellor fighting to keep his tenure. Right now, the Board of Regents is considering whether to terminate Gao from his position. Last year, Gao was removed from his role as chancellor after it was discovered he was making pornographic videos with his wife online. He's been on paid leave from his faculty position ever since. Today, Gao and his lawyer made a final push for the former chancellor to keep his role. We also heard from the university. Take a listen.
We don't need the First Amendment to protect the Star-Spangled Banner. We don't need the First Amendment to protect easy and comforting speech. It's exactly the opposite. We need the First Amendment precisely when the danger of stifling controversial, unpopular speech is at its highest, and that's what we have here in this situation.
Particularly for someone who previously served as chancellor, Dr. Gao's behavior has been unethical, hypocritical, and unacceptable.
We'll keep you updated when we have a decision from the board. And the Fed's recent tax rate, could be taking some pressure off your wallet.
Well, coming up, hear from White House officials on what the cut means for you next on Live at 4.
This September, it's time to celebrate Portage Furniture's anniversary sale. For decades, we've been a staple of our downtown community, and we're proud of those roots. We've built a reputation for quality service and beautiful forever furniture, and you can save on all of the top brands: Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, Serta mattresses, and always free delivery. Shop local this September at Portage Furniture's anniversary sale. Don't you just love a good reason to celebrate?
This ad is a complete lie. The truth is, Tammy Baldwin's never shared inside information with her partner. And Tammy Baldwin's leading the fight to ban senators from purchasing any individual stocks. It's Eric Hovde, who owns a $3 billion California bank. And Hovde's bank takes millions from unknown foreign interests, meaning we'd have no idea who Eric Hovde would really be working for. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Did you get hit with big energy bills this summer? You aren't alone, and we want to help. Because if your house was hot this summer, it's going to be cold this winter, and heating and cooling is by far the biggest energy user in your home. That's why our foam insulation is such a great investment. Our best offer of the year just ended August 31st. But to help you get ready for winter, we're going to extend it until September 22nd, the first day of fall. When we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
Pets are cute. Until they're not. Forgive your best friend. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
New at 5, a massive crowd gathers in Madison for Vice President Kamala Harris's visit. Find out what's drawing people out in droves and what they hope to see today.
After a very warm Saturday, rain chances on the increase by Saturday night and especially on Sunday. Coming up at 5, the shift in the heaviest track of rain.
And ahead at 6, Vice President Kamala Harris's rally today is just one in a long history for Wisconsin. What does the state's rally culture reveal about our political landscape? Tonight at 6.
The Federal Reserve cut its benchmark interest rate by half a point on Wednesday.
And traders were expecting closer to a traditional quarter point. This comes after rates were raised to a 23-year high. The cut paves the way for lowering borrowing costs on items like mortgages to credit cards. However, John Donneberg, the senior economic advisor to the president, says there's still work to be done.
As mortgage rates fall and more homes are built, auto loans and credit cards will start to become a bit more affordable. You know, starting a small business, for example, will be easier because the rates will be lower and lending will go up. So this is certainly not a declaration of victory, but it is a declaration of progress. And we're going to continue to work to lower costs and advance that progress that American workers and families have made.
This is the first rate cut since 2020. However, companies and consumers may not feel the effects of the lower rates right away.
Well, if you and your coven need something bewitching to watch, we have some suggestions.
Will Loper previews the new Disney Plus series Agatha All Along. Can it cast a spell on viewers? We'll find out after the break.
As a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on investing right now in you, the American people. And we can chart a new way forward. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Get an 11% rebate on your flooring update at Menards. Get the floor of your dreams with Shaw Flooring. Add warmth and comfort to any room with Shaw Carpet. Keystone Frisé Carpet is just 99 cents per square foot. After rebate, durable Citadel vinyl plank flooring is waterproof and easy to install, making it perfect for any room in your home. Get it today for only $2.19 per square foot after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
4 years ago, rioters set this Minneapolis police station on fire, trying to burn me and my fellow police officers alive. Governor Tim Walz left us for dead. And Kamala Harris?
This is a movement, I'm telling you. Everyone beware. They're not going to let up, and they should not.
She raised millions to help bail rioters out of jail and supported defunding the police. Kamala sold cops out and put families at risk. Kamala Harris is too weak and too dangerous to be president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no-interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year. So visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
I'm Joan Balwig, and these days, the cost to make Great-Grandma Balwig's Blue Ribbon banana bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and pass the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what banana bread does and bring everyone to the table.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet, all with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com. Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Well, here is a live look at the Alliant Energy Center. A lot of people are there for Vice President Kamala Harris's rally today. The crowd is getting warmed up by some speakers. Harris has yet to land in Madison, though. Yeah, we're still waiting on her. Our Maddie Heimsch is there as we wait for her to land, but it looks like Wisconsin Democratic Chairman Ben Wickler getting the crowd amped up there. Well, back here, well, you know what day it is. It's Friday! And okay, so what do a witch and a penguin have in common? Well, you know, both are actually here to entertain you. Oh, good, of course. Well, today's Loper Report, Will Loper takes a look at Agatha All Along and The Penguin, both new on streaming.
Agatha.
Who's been messing up everything?
The covenless witch.
No.
What really happened to you?
Get into the Halloween spirit with Agatha All Along, newly streaming on Disney+.
I'm assembling a coven. We gotta get back on top. I'm gonna walk the road. Join me.
The Marvel series continues the story of witch Agatha Harkness, played by Kathryn Hahn, attempting to regain her power.
It will test us and our knowledge of the craft.
You promised me, Oswald. I know that. I deserve a better life. I'm working on it.
Dive back into the world of crime with The Penguin, streaming on Max.
Penguin? You waltzing in here like you mean something. We're in the middle of a gang war.
Carmichael's dead.
If we don't protect what's ours, we just look weak.
The Batman spin-off series stars Colin Farrell, not that you can recognize him, as Gotham gangster Oswald Cobblepot.
Trust me, it's just the beginning.
I understand what a stressful situation it is. It's very nice that you're all here at a time like this.
And watch family come together in His Three Daughters, newly streaming on Netflix.
You know she hasn't done a shift, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't find that strange? Once we get here, she steps back from all responsibility?
Elizabeth Olsen, Carrie Coon, and Natasha Lyonne play three sisters caring for their ailing father.
You will need each other. It's good that there are three of you.
For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
Let the silence ring.
Well, should we find out if it's streaming weather this weekend? Let's check in with Alex Harrington. Alex?
It's always streaming weather. It's streaming right now live here at 4 o'clock, where we can tell you where did the water stream last night. Well, we were saying that would be Madison and points off towards the north and west that had the better chances for the rainfall, and that's really how it panned out. Areas east of Madison, I know you need the raindrops too. Unfortunately, that line of thunderstorms, as we mentioned last night, weakened as it pressed to the east. Widespread 1-2 inches to the west, but over towards the east, over towards Beaver Dam, over towards Jefferson, over towards Elkhorn, just about a ½ inch to right around an inch. And then further east, they got really nothing over towards Milwaukee. We have more rain chances on the way. Look at this lighting up here, future track. Perhaps a line of strong thunderstorms Saturday afternoon after a hot day. We'll start off around 60. We'll get up to near 90 degrees. Can you believe that? That's almost 20 degrees above normal. Then this line sweeps towards Madison, 8 o'clock, Mineral Point, Dells, over towards Beaver Dam, over towards Jefferson and Janesville. This line, this hopefully will hold together. We don't need this severe weather, so hopefully we can keep that at bay, but get some good raindrops from this line of thunderstorms. Moves off towards the south and east as we go into Sunday, but that's not the end of our rain chances, though. Possibility 1 or 2 of these storms could get on the stronger side, especially north and west of Madison early in their evolution. As we carry forth into the rest of Sunday night going on into Monday and Tuesday, more rain, upwards of a ½ inch to an inch. That's pressing, though, more towards the south. Brady, I believe we have some updates.
Yes, there is a live look at the airport. Air Force 2 is landing here in Madison. Of course, this is ahead of Vice President Kamala Harris. Her rally at the Alliant Energy Center, trying to convince voters to vote for her this coming presidential election.
Yeah, and she is actually, this is her other stop of today. She was just in Georgia, where she spoke largely about abortion rights. We spoke with Braden Ross earlier, who said that that was something that voters seem to really want to hear tonight. So we'll be tracking what she says as well later on.
That seems to be a big thing in her campaign, women's health, women's reproductive rights. So it'll be interesting to see if we see a similar playbook at her rally today. We're going to go to break, but we'll be right back after this.
I've never slept a full night in my entire life. I was 5 years old when my stepfather abused me for the first time. I just felt like I was alone on a planet with a monster. I was 12 when he impregnated me. I just remember thinking, I have to get out of my skin. I can't be me right now. Like, this can't be it. I didn't know what to do. I was a child. I didn't know what it meant to be pregnant at all. But I had options. Because Donald Trump overturned Roe v. Wade, girls and women all over the country have lost the right to choose, even for rape or incest. Donald Trump did this. He took away our freedom.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
We wanted to be able to enjoy all 4 seasons, and patio enclosures helped us make that dream come true.
The one and only patio enclosures.
about our designer kids package or free lens upgrade. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Tammy Baldwin's partner is Maria Brisbane, a Wall Street wealth advisor to the ultra-rich. They spend their time in New York and D.C. in their multi-million-dollar homes. But Baldwin fails to report their jointly owned assets or Maria's clients, who get rich off industries that Tammy regulates. That's a conflict of interest raising serious ethical questions. Two-faced Tammy Baldwin. She's not for us anymore. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Let's take a look at this. An avid swimmer in Wisconsin is using her daily morning dip as an opportunity for an artistic endeavor. As Melody Legal swims her methodical morning routine, her Garmin watch records her route in the lake, turning her swim strokes into digital brush strokes, creating sweet and silly smartwatch art.
You know, I honestly am impressed. I don't know how she would keep track of all of that.
No, I'd get lost and it would be... Anyway, that's not her art right there. We'll be right back.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
I'm Matt, and I'm a former Trump voter. One of my biggest beefs with Donald Trump is that with him, anybody who doesn't agree with him is a radical, is a lunatic, is a leftist, a Marxist, a communist, somebody out to destroy America. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris because I don't want to live in a world that's all about hatred and retribution and getting even with your neighbors and getting rid of people who are different from me.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Fall is just around the corner. Let the experts at Feldco get your home ready for the cooler temps ahead. Right now, buy one window, get one free, plus no interest for 3 years. It's the perfect time to make valuable upgrades to your home and save more money in the process. Our custom windows are built in the U.S. to the highest standards and made to withstand the harsh Midwest weather. Buy one window, get one free, and soon. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse, raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Monday on Live at 4, can Beetlejuice